Welcome to The Coffee Grind with the Denton Chamber of Commerce, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
Good morning, Denton. My name is Travis Vaselka. I'm the Director of Membership and Marketing for the Denton Chamber of Commerce. And with me, as always, is my trusty co-host.
Good morning, Denton. My name is Randy Skinner. I serve on the Denton Chamber Board of Directors, and as a member of the Chamber, I represent Denton County Friends of the Family.
And you're watching the Chamber Coffee Grind. We're recording live from the DentonRadio.com studio inside of the Discover Denton Welcome Center on the historic downtown Denton Square. And we're here to keep you up to date with what's happening in the business community, specifically highlighting featured initiatives and events from the Denton Chamber of Commerce. And today we're going to be talking with Bubba Turner about Pistons and Paint. So welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Very good morning. So Bubba, how would you... how about give a little introduction about yourself for the folks watching?
Tell us who you are, Bubba.
I'm very important. I grew up in Dallas, came here to go to college. I won't tell you the year.
UNT?
Actually, the first year I was here, it was still NTSU. So,
nice.
So then it switched to UNT. So if you
We're
look in the
aligned.
history books, yes.
We can look at it that way.
And I graduated from that RTVF degree.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
Done very many things with that.
Look at you now.
Yeah, it's all paid off right now. I told my mom I'd be on the radio one day, so here I am.
There you are. See, Mom?
Yeah, and then I've pretty much lived in Denton except for a couple years since then, and I have a house here now. I work for Benny Keith Beverage here in town now after having many other jobs, and we've been putting this car show on in Denton for probably, I'm going to guess, 13 years now.
Wow.
I think that's right.
But the gathering itself is how many years in the
This is the 17th year we've done the show. The first year it was like 20 cars in a parking lot at a chrome shop in Garland that we knew the owner of the shop. Then the next year, if I've got this right, then the next year he had sold the shop, so we moved it to this bowling alley that was right around the corner. And we did that there for 2 years, and then the bowling alley got bought out, and then we had to find a place. And we tried actually to put it at Sandy Lake Park, which that recently closed down.
Yeah.
And they considered it, but I guess they'd had bad experiences with car shows in the past. So they said no, so we were scrambling. I was like, well, hey, there's a fairgrounds in my town. I can go ask them. And I went and talked to them, and they were real nice to us. Nancy and Glenn over there were really nice.
Shout out.
Nice.
We love them.
At the fairgrounds, yes, they're great. And, we just worked a bit. We had a little bit of money from previous shows, and we started off we just rented. We only afford to rent the front half of the fairgrounds. And it was great.
So you're park the cars really close.
Yeah, there's just those two grass sections. Actually, I think we took more space than we were supposed to, but the problem with that was we couldn't afford to rent the whole thing, so if they had other events going on, there were people that weren't associated with our event that just could come in.
Just checking it out.
Well, yeah, and we couldn't control
Sure.
who was coming in and going, and, it just didn't. It was like that for a couple of years until we finally had enough money to be able to rent the entire fairgrounds.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Did I just ramble on all the way?
No,
that's
yeah,
fine.
we're tracking with you.
So
This is kind of telling us how it's evolved. And so now it is at the entire fairgrounds, which is right behind Kroger University.
Right.
So it's really easy for everybody to get to. And how many cars now do you think you guys have?
The past couple of years, registered vehicles, like show cars, I guess you could say, has always been right around the 500 mark.
oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Wow.
We do pre-registration, and I believe it's right at 180 cars have pre-registered already, so we know that they're supposed to be there if they make it. So there will be at least that many. But still, I mean, the thing I don't understand, everybody has their own ways of doing it, but with pre-registration, it's $35 and you get a free event T-shirt.
Okay.
Nice.
If you show up the day of, it's still $35, but you don't get an event T-shirt. So we try to give them something to encourage them to pre-register, and it's a better deal for them.
Totally.
Just so we don't have to, having to deal with money and registration forms and everything day of, just to cut that out.
Right. Make it smoother.
Yeah, and it gives them, I think it's a good deal because the shirts are normally $20 to $25 if you buy them.
That's
by
sweet,
themselves.
yeah.
So
That is a good deal.
So Pistons and Paint, is that what it's been called this
Yes.
entire time?
It used to, when we started off, excuse me, it was kind of trying to be focused on artwork, like people that are in the custom car culture, their artwork and cars.
Cool.
That's where the paint is actually from artwork.
Okay.
It just never took off in that regard. And we would try to have displays, like walls up with people that could hang their artwork and things like that. That proved to be hard to do outside. So it just kind of naturally moved away from that, and then the car aspect took over.
Nice.
And
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
and music aspect took over. So.
Okay, so there'll be music too.
Yes, we have a DJ that spins. Trigger Mortis is her DJ name.
That's an
That's a
awesome name.
good name.
Yeah, she that was her roller derby name. So that's
Of
she
course,
goes by
that's
that.
awesome.
She just got married in Vegas. Hey, Trigger.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
How fun.
She spins awesome, like 50s rock, 60s rock, and rhythm and blues.
That is so cool.
So we have a mobile stage that we get from Benny Keith here in town. So she's set up next to that. She spins music while the bands, in between bands and before the bands start. We have 3 bands. We have the Modern Don Juans, which is a rockabilly band from Austin. We have Nikki Hill, who is an awesome singer. She's originally from North Carolina. She lives in New Orleans now. She sings rock and roll, rhythm and blues. And then we have the Reverend Horton Heat is our headliner.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, yeah.
So
That's a
he's-
great,
yeah.
great lineup. That sounds
That's really
exciting.
cool.
So, okay, so if I've actually never been to Pistons and Paint, so I know.
I'm
but
out of here.
I know, right? But I feel I'm very excited to go. In fact, I know my family's been. My grandfather's like real into cars, so I know he's been. So I'm gonna go this Saturday. What's the deal? Like, what should I expect? Do I need to do I buy a ticket? Like,
You can't buy tickets to get into the show
Okay.
ahead of time. It's all just at the gate.
how much is it?
It's $10 to walk in.
Okay.
Kids under 12 are free.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is dog friendly if you have a well-behaved dog, and it must be on a leash at all times. If there's problems, we have to, for safety reasons, we have
Of
to
course.
have some
That's
leash.
good. Yeah.
But it's $10 to walk in. There's free parking outside of the arena.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a problem I never thought I would have to worry about is parking, but
Right.
we have that. So if you drive past the fairgrounds, like you're going to, I don't know if anybody knows where the fair parking is, the actual fair parking, not in the.
I don't know if
not in
I've
the
ever
dr-
parked in the real fair park.
Not in the Drug Emporium parking lot. If you go past the fairgrounds and you take the first entranceway
Yeah.
past the
Yes.
fairgrounds, it's actually an easement that goes in front of the church. And if you keep
Oh
going,
yeah, that's
there's
that
big
side,
fields
yes.
back there that you actually can park in for free.
Yes.
So you can walk in for $10, or if you want to register your car, we have raised the limit this year. It used to be 1964 and older, but we changed it. It's 1972 and older now.
Okay.
So if it's
So my Hyundai Kona is probably not the right fit.
probably not, it would be in the fair parking lot.
I'll bring it. I'll bring it.
But it's $35 to register your car to be in the show and to park inside and to be eligible for a trophy or anything like that.
Okay, so how are people judged? Like, do the attendees
So we do
judge
it-
them, or do you have judges?
No, we do it a little different. There's every car show does it different. I
Okay.
think there's some car shows that are like the one on the square here. They have categories, and you have to register your car for a specific category, and then they have judges that judge your car
Right.
based on what category you're in. And there's first, second, and third, and there's all kinds of different things up here. What we do is, because when we all start out, we don't have enough money to have a super nice $100,000 car. that we-
Right.
Sure.
So we personally have had enough of the little plastic trophies ourselves. So everybody in the club, everybody in our club makes a trophy. It could be whatever you want to make,
Okay.
but you have to make it. It can't be bought. And
That's awesome.
Ooh.
then you pick whatever car you like for whatever reason you like.
Okay.
So like my trophy this year is a gas can that is all lettered up that says Pistons and Paint, and I just call mine the Bubba pick.
Okay.
Because, so that says that on there, and I'll be giving that away. But it could be $100,000 car, or it could be somebody's home built hot rod. And
So it's like a good mix. It's just
Yeah, it's
kind of
whatever you like.
Almost like a fan favorite, like
sure. Well,
for
yeah.
the club favorite.
Club favorites.
But each guy does it. We have 11 guys, and
Okay.
each guy is supposed to build a trophy and pick their car. But what we also do that some other shows don't do is we invite anybody else that wants to make a trophy to come and present a trophy. So you have to
Oh my God.
you have
That's
to
really
actually
cool.
make the trophy, and you have to give it away. There's 2 rules: make the trophy,
Okay.
and it can't be anyone in your own car club.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point in making a trophy and giving
Right.
it to your
buddy? Yeah.
That is so cool.
So
And-
what we do is we have the trophies, and they'll all be out there. We usually put them up on the front of the stage, so that people can look at them and everything. And they're all different. You can go on the Facebook page, Pistons and Paint Car
Okay.
Show, I think is what it is. And you can see past photos of past trophies and things like that.
Do you have people outside y'all's car club make
Oh
some
yeah,
of the trophies?
every year.
Hi,
we
Kate
have somebody.
Linus. Kate's going to work. It's good to see you.
Yeah, every year somebody makes it, and then since it's kind of hard to do with people that are not in our car club to kind of organize it, so
Sure.
they just come up and walk up, and we like, hey, these guys, we announce them, and then they like tell them who their pick is, and they announce the name because we have car tags on each car to tell you who the car belongs to, what kind of car it is, what year, and everything like that. So they announce it, and those people just walk up and get their trophy. With our personal trophies that we give out, we actually have our winners pull behind the stage, and when it's our turn to give away, like say it's my turn to give away my trophy, my car will pull up in front of the stage
Nice.
so that everyone can see the car.
Yeah.
And then they'll get out and we take a photo, and then they drive off on the other side of the stage.
Okay.
That's
so it's
awesome.
more of a to-do.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a different kind of trophy
Bigger
presentation.
So what time can everybody get there on Saturday?
So spectators can start. We open the gates at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
There's usually cars waiting at 8 o'clock, and then it goes all day until pretty much dark. The bands start at 11:30, and then the Reverend Horton Heat goes on at 2:30, and he'll be done by 4. And then we do awards, and then pretty much after that it's done, and it's getting dark, and so you have to pack up and hustle to pack up so while you can still see anything.
Right.
But 8 o'clock is when you can get there. I mean, if you want to get there that early, absolutely. I say if you got there 10:30 or 11, you'd probably see the
good.
majority of everything.
I feel like I wouldn't want to miss like the trophy ceremony, so I'm thinking like the afternoon is
Yeah.
like a good time frame. What about food? Do we need to come? Do we
There's-
come hungry or come full?
There's always food vendors out there.
Awesome.
I don't handle the food registration or the vehicle registration. I pretty much handle everything else. But there will be food vendors out there. I know that Suzanne from Chestnut Tree
Oh,
is going to be there.
Okay.
She has a new food trailer that she's supposed to be debuting.
Nice.
Very cool.
I know Java Rocket will be there with coffee. He'll be there first thing in the
Perfect.
morning, and he owes me free coffee. I know there's some barbecue people and
Lots of options.
yeah, there'll be various options out there. There's also people selling clothing
Oh,
and
fun.
I had no idea.
artwork and things like that. Yeah, we have vendors that'll be
So
out there
it's like a
selling.
little shopping experience.
Yeah, it's
too.
just it's
It's got
whatever
a little bit of everything.
whatever kind of fits with the car culture should be out there.
Sure. That's
I know
cool.
DMAC is volunteering to help us out. And they should have a booth out there that you can go visit them and give a donation to them. I think they might have it set up. I'm not positive, but I think they have it set up where you might get a free T-shirt if you donate. Don't quote me on that. I know Pan Ector will be doing live screen printing out there.
Nice. That's always good.
They're out there all the time, and they're a big hit. It took people a few years to figure out what they were doing because
Yeah.
nobody else really has ever had that at a car show.
Yeah.
But once they figured it out, everybody's all into it, and there's a big line
Oh
for them.
yeah.
We do have event shirts and for sale out there. We do have pint glasses for sale out there with
Fun.
with
Cool.
this year's T-shirt design on it.
Okay.
And then a personal favorite of mine, a friend of ours years and years ago used to make a charity coloring book, and he'd get all these different people to send in just line artwork like a coloring book, and he would have a charity in mind, and you'd sell the coloring book, and all that money goes to charity. So I asked him, last year was the first year I did it, and he obviously gave me his blessing to do it. He had stopped doing it a while. But so we're doing our second year of coloring book. All the proceeds go to the Kiwanis Club Children's Medical Center.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
I believe we'll have 400 or 450 books that we're printing up. But I asked several artists around town, a bunch of tattoo artists. It's a very non-traditional coloring book.
Cool.
Sure.
And I actually, so if you're scared of monsters or aliens or anything like that, there's a lot of that in there. A lot of like tattoo flash kind of stuff in there. I should have brought one. I didn't even.
I know.
bring it,
Well, they'll just have to come on Saturday.
they need
and
to come on
see,
Saturday.
Yeah.
I do have some copies from last year, so you can have the whole set. But I mean, I put it on Facebook this year and asked people if they wanted to contribute. I had a lot of people contribute
That's so
from Facebook.
fun.
That's awesome.
One lady that contributed like 9 drawings was an actual Ed Roth licensed artist.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Her paintings or her drawings are awesome. And I told them I couldn't pay them, but they would receive a copy of the coloring book for every design that they submitted.
Yeah.
So I think there's 28 pages, I think, of the coloring book, and all proceeds go to the charity. I sold the back cover of the book as advertisement. My buddy runs Gas Monkey Garage.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Gas Monkey Bar and Grill, I should say. And they bought that as a coupon.
Oh, cool.
So that if you
Neat.
brought that into Gas Monkey Bar and Grill, you can get, I think it's 15% off your meal or something like that. So that way the coloring books are all paid for, and then everything can go to charity.
That's so
awesome.
cool. And Kiwanis they do great things over there. So
Yeah.
I know that they're a big support to our community. So
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
All right, real quick little wrap up. It's going to be Saturday,
Saturday, November 10th.
starting at
You can get
8
there as
a.m.
early as 8 a.m. It's $10 to walk in, $35 to register your car. It has to be 1972 and older. American. We don't really do Volkswagens or Porsches or anything like
Okay.
Good to know.
that. There's 3 bands. The headliner is the Reverend Horton Heat.
Yes.
There's a DJ. There's food. There's vendors. There's me. There is beer for sale.
Awesome.
The fair will be selling beer out there.
Awesome.
In all kinds of clothing. You can come get the Reverend Horton Heat gear, Nikki Hill gear, Modern Down Lawns gear. You should look those people up if you haven't heard of them.
Totally.
You can go to our website, pistonsandpaint.com, and you can check out everything. You can,
All the details.
and if you go to Pistons and Paint Car Show on Facebook, you can see tons of photos from previous years and everything like that.
Fantastic. That's great.
So,
Well, thank you so much. Don't go
problem.
anywhere. We're going to do some announcements.
All righty.
And you just have to stay here and
you
like,
want
sit
me to
here and
read the announcements?
be a spectator.
Yeah, feel free to comment.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do a rundown of the upcoming calendar of events in chronological order.
Okay,
So, all
good.
right. Starting on November 8th, that'll be tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we have our Chamber Mixer, hosted and sponsored by TRCA. They're off of Virginia Circle, which is kind of near 288 and
And
University.
it's at their location, right?
It is at
And
their
they're-
location.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yes.
go to their business. I know sometimes I'm always like, I'm going to the right place, right? Like it's not really like a bar, y'all.
And you'll see the TRC logo and everything like that.
Then, as a member of the chamber, whether you're a new member or celebrating something awesome, we will help you host your ribbon cutting. And so Moving Experts is doing their ribbon cutting November 9th. They're doing it in the morning at 9 a.m. They're off. They're going to do it at the chamber. So we're right off Parkway Street, right here off the square. Y'all can come by at 9 and celebrate with Kyle and the rest of the Moving Experts team.
And then on Monday, November 12th, we've got Southwire Company's ribbon cutting. They have opened their second headquarters, this time in Denton, and they're located off Giesling Road. So we'll be welcoming them to the chamber and to Denton at 11 a.m. on November 12th.
Is this the series?
No, this one's a different one.
My bad.
It's its
So
own
then
thing.
we have on November 13th, Women Rise. This is hosted by TW's Center for Women in Business. It is going to be held at Stoke Co-working Space right there off Hickory at 7:30 in the morning. They're doing a breakfast. It's an opportunity to network, to learn something. They're going to have Lisa Cave, who's Assistant Vice President, Branch Manager with Point Bank, and they're going to give you tips and tricks on networking, what you need to know before you go, having your elevator pitch ready, how to move about, and other great things. So they provide breakfast, a great speaker, and a great opportunity to network with other women business owners. So that's November 13th at 7:30 a.m.
On November 13th at 5 p.m., Women in Commerce is going to be having an event where we're bringing together several of local nonprofits into the Serve Denton Center and basically introducing those nonprofits to our WINK community. Women in Commerce's theme for the year is balance, and so they've been exploring different ways of keeping balance with professional, personal life, giving, being thankful, all kinds of things that help even your life back out. And so one of these is to be introduced to local nonprofits, see where time could be spent or energy made in giving charitably.
Really good timing with Thanksgiving and the holidays coming up.
Sorry, and yes, that'll be at Serve Denton Center on November 13th.
Awesome. Then we have Get the Gig. This is the event we talked about last week. It is coming up on the 14th. It is put on by Jake and some of his crew. They will be debuting Jake's book, Get the Gig, and it'll also feature a panel of experts in the DIY music industry. And then what I think is really cool is just for showing up. So you need to come if you're a musician, you're part of a band, you're wanting to get gigs booked, right? Get the gig. You come out. And there'll be folks there that also book bands, right? So we're going to pair you up, or Jake's going to pair you up. And then just for showing up, they are creating a database, a directory essentially of all these bands and performers that we can book here in our community. So show up and you'll get on this directory and you'll be able to hear from some pretty amazing people, including Brendan Anthony from the Texas Music Office, Carl Finch with Brave Combo, Mackenzie Smith with Midlake, Danielle Longville with Oaktopia, and pretty much just all around awesome marketing person. Ellie Gonzalez with the Denton Vibe, and then Victor Gahn, who's an endorsed artist. And I believe this is the gentleman who plays the riffs for the ESPN and stuff. Is that right, Jake? I learned that fact last week, and I thought that was so cool.
Very cool.
That's him. So kind of famous, I think. So that's going to be November 14th at 5 p.m. So be sure, if you are a band, a musician, come out for that. If you need to book a band, if you like music, come out. It's all at Harvest House.
And last but not least is actually a series of things coming from the Center for Women in Business. It's women's enterprise and micro grant training. And the series started, I believe, on November 1st, but the next one coming up is November 8th. Each of these is held at Stoke in the evenings. This one on November 8th is 5:30 to 6:30, and it's going to talk about happy cash flows, one of the most important elements of running a business. That's on November 8th. The next one is November 15th. That one's talking about
business structures.
Thank you. Business structures with Jill Jester, who's going to be the guest speaker, talking about all the different structures, legal structures that you can have as a
Jill's
business.
Incoming board
chair for the Chamber of Commerce. She's also a regent for Texas Women's University.
Yes, all around awesome.
Totally awesome. And then we've got November 29th, again, 5:30 at Stoke. This one is about business insurance and the different forms of insurance with our local Jeff King with Ramey King Insurance. And then on December 6th, I believe this is the final one, this one is talking about how to market your business with Heather Steele, owner of Blue Steel Solutions. And so she'll go over all kinds of marketing tips, tricks, goals, how to calculate, all that good stuff. So if you're looking for kind of a business in a box series, this is pretty good for those of you who are interested in starting your own business here in town.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you don't have to go to them all, y'all. So you can just like pull out one or two that you can go to, but you'll beneficial if you go to them all.
Indeed. I think there's a micro grant component to it, and I think you would have had to have applied and gotten the grant and everything.
The name of that is amazing.
Micro grant? Yeah, just tiny money. All right, so before we wrap up, we always like to ask our prepared fun question.
Yes, we are prepared and we are fun.
So, what is your favorite way of denting, or
you just choose one?
What was your first job?
My first job was I sold programs at the old Cowboy Stadium when I was probably 9-10 years old.
Oh my gosh, that's
so I'd be the little guy waving a program, trying to get you to buy a program.
Oh my gosh.
And what's funny is when I went to the state fair this past October, I was walking down the Midway and there was Tony Dorsett, old Cowboy All-Star.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's Tony Dorsett. Is that Tony Dorsett? And he was eating a candied apple, which was really awkward. Because I was like, Mr., you're Tony Dorsett. And he's like, I'd shake your hand, but I got a candy apple all over. And I was like, man, I hate to bother you. Can I have a picture? And he was like, yeah, who's going to take it? And I was like, my buddy over here will take it. And so he had a candied apple in his hand. And I'm trying to take my picture with Tony Dorsett. And he's like, where are you from? And I was like, I'm from Dallas. And actually, I used to sell programs when you were running on the field. He's like, is that right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, all right, have a good day.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
My first job was selling programs at Old Texas Stadium.
Now, cool. Are you a big Cowboys fan then?
Yes, I can say
that. All right, so thank you very much, Bubba, for coming in and talking to us about Pistons and paint.
So that's next Saturday, guys and gals. This Saturday. This coming up Saturday. I thought this is the next Saturday. This Saturday.
It's November 10th.
November 10th.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Indeed.
Be sure to come out.
Yes, and I'd also like to thank Jake for being over here on the board. And thank you to DentonRadio.com for their support in the production of the Chamber Coffee Grind. For more information about the Denton Chamber of Commerce, you can check us out at denton-chamber.org. You can follow and friend us on social media, and remember to tune in every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at classicofdenton.com.